Well, hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Curtis representing the fourth grade team at John McLaughlin. And today's really important fraction lesson has to do with mixed numbers and fractions greater than one whole. You could find that in 6-4 in your textbook. Today's targets are we're going to discuss real world uses of mixed numbers. Why do we have them? And build mixed numbers and convert between mixed numbers and fractions greater than one. Why do we need to learn this? Well, in real life, many numbers are greater than one whole. The same goes for fractions. Often, in fact, there are fractions that are more than just one, but are also cut up fraction pieces. So you might have a whole pizza plus 2/3 of an extra pizza, 1 2/3. You might have $1 and some change, 1 3/4. That's the why. Here's our vocabulary for today. This is a really important vocabulary term that a mixed number is a number that is containing both a whole number, like the 2, and attached is a fraction, 1/5. Together, 2 and 1/5 are a mixed number. For example, I had a girl ask me or tell me that she was 9.5 years old. She gave her age to me as a mixed number. An improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is actually greater than its denominator. So like 7/5. The 7 is greater than the 5, so that's called an improper fraction. And again, a fraction that's greater than 1 has a numerator, or the number at top of a fraction, that is greater than its denominator, like 10/6. What I need you to do is I would like you to take a notebook piece of paper or two and a pencil and a Sharpie, and I have recorded, you don't need scissors, and I've recorded a quick video for you to take some notes and do some practice. Well, all right, so I'm going to assume you have your notebook paper, you have a pencil, and you have a highlighter pen. So in your notebook paper, you're going to match me here, and we're going to go ahead and draw a number line. And number lines can also show fractions. They don't just have to be pie graphs. So I want you to draw a line, a straight line from the red line on the left side, and draw a straight line that gets to about that faded pink line in the right margin. And you don't have to write H for home and school, but you can if you want. And once you have that horizontal line, I'd like you to draw a line halfway and mark the tick mark like that. That's half. I also then would like you to draw a tick mark at the end, and that to school is the whole way. So we're going to call that one whole trip, okay? So now we have a starting point. We have halfway, and we have a whole trip from home to school. We're going to go ahead and go halfway between home and the halfway point, and we're going to mark that as a quarter, 1/4. We're also then going to go halfway and draw a tick mark halfway between the halfway point and getting all the way to school. That's right here, and we're going to go ahead and call that 3/4. Then we're going to go ahead and go back and go halfway between the 4th and the home start, and that's going to be an 1/8. Halfway between quarter and half, tick mark, that's going to be called 3/4. Excuse me, 3/8. I apologize. 3/8. Halfway between half and 3/4 is going to be called 5/8. And then halfway between 3/4 and the whole way is actually going to be called 7/8. So I know we're doing a lot here, but let's say we're going to walk from home to school, and by myself, I'm going to walk 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8 or half, and 5/8. And there, my friend lives closer to school, so together we're going to walk 3/8. One more eighth, a second eighth, and all the way. So together we walked 3/8. And when we add those together, we get 8/8, the whole way. So just kind of a reminder, take a picture of this and share it with your teacher, but then give yourself some space to work below and draw 3 boxes. In the interest of time, I already colored them in. If you'd like to push pause and match me, that's great. We're going to have you draw 3, and I did my squares that are 1, 2, 3, 4 lines tall, and I divided them into fourths and colored them in. Give yourself some space to work. Push pause when you're ready to continue. Now let's say I have these holes in fractions. What do I have? How many holes are not cut up yet? 1 hole, 2 hole, and then what's my fraction left over? I don't quite have a 3rd hole, so it looks like I have 4, but I have 3 out of 4. So I actually have, as a mixed number, a number with a whole number and a fraction. I have a mixed number of 2 3/4. So that is my mixed number. And you can think about it maybe in terms of playing a basketball game. So over a stretch of time, a girl played 2 3/4 of a basketball game. How many quarters did she play? How many quarters did she play? Well, we could break that down. So she played 2 whole games plus 3 extra quarters. How many quarters did she play? So here's big information here, okay? Let's convert that mixed number of 2 3/4 to an equivalent or an improper fraction. Remember, an improper fraction is a fraction with the numerator is far greater than the denominator. So what we're going to do, and here's the rule here, is we're going to multiply the whole number by the denominator. So 2 times 4 is 8. I'm going to put that over here. And then I'm actually going to add the numerator. So 2 times 4 plus 3. 8 plus 3, that would be 11, and the denominator stays the same. Multiply and add. If you want to go ahead and touch the screen, multiply and add. Multiply and add. And you can write it over here as an equation. So if this girl played 2 3/4 games, how many quarters did she play? She played 11 quarters, or 11 fourths. Let's prove it. I took those and I just cut them out. Here's 1 hole, 2 hole, 2 whole games, plus 3 quarters, 2 3/4. Let's count the quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is the improper fraction of 11 quarters, which is the same as 2 3/4. What I'd like you to do now is go to the next page and create a practice page. I left the rule up here so you can push pause and write these in your notebook neatly. Please convert these 4 mixed numbers into improper fractions, remembering to multiply and add. Push pause. Okay, let's check your work. We're going to multiply 3 times 4 plus 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13, and the denominator stays the same. Over here we have 5 3/4. We're going to multiply. 5 times 4 is 20, plus the 3. That's 23/4. We're going to multiply the whole number by the denominator. That's 14, plus the extra 4. That's 18, and the denominator stays the same. Finally, in the last practice, we're going to multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. Add the extra 5, and that gets us 11/6. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this for your teacher, and go ahead and take the quiz inside the Google form. All right, so if you feel prepared to complete the questions, you may go and do so. If you'd like to continue watching for a few more examples, that's a great idea too. So here's some more practice. We're going to convert 4 1/3, and we need to multiply 4 times 3 is 12. And then we add the numerator, and that 12 plus 1 gets us 13 thirds. So 13 thirds is equivalent to 4 1/3. With a model, here's the same one, we have 2 3/4. We're going to multiply and add. When I multiply the 2 by the 4, I'm going to take all of these, 2 times 4, so there's 8 of these pieces here. Then I'm going to add these leftover 3 pieces. That gets me 11, and the denominator stays the same. One more example. Here we have 3 whole green bars cut up into fifths. 3 whole bars. 3 times 5 gets us 15. And then we need to add the leftover 3. So we multiply and add. And when we get that, we get 18 fifths. Hopefully you do well on your quiz. You can watch this as many times as you like. Please do your best. Bye for now.